South African women's hockey side are already hard at work preparing for their 2024 Olympic campaign in Paris later in the year. Now, having just wrapped up a friendly match in Cape Town earlier this afternoon, co-captains Erin, Christie and Quanita will be talking to us, but we are now with Erin, who joins us. Erin, a very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for having us.
Let's talk about, again, an Olympic year. I guess it's always different when it's Olympic year, especially through the qualifying. How has it been, particularly coming from the festive, knowing that you have to prepare once again for the big Olympics?
Yeah, so I mean, an Olympic year is definitely different because we feel super privileged to have secured that ticket to the Paris Olympic Games late last year. And so the festive season was obviously very exciting for us in terms of knowing what was to come and being excited to see what 2024 looks like for us. Obviously lots of hard work, you know, that little bit of extra motivation knowing that we're going into that Olympic year. But yeah, I think we've started off well, beginning of this year, with some test matches against France. We've played 2 so far and we've won both of them. So yeah, we're very excited and we're looking forward to building from here towards the Paris Olympics.
It's never really easy, particularly when you talk hockey in South Africa, to qualify for the Olympics. I think I've had a few conversations with the coaches, with Quanita, previously last year, talking about just the challenges that the team faces. How has that been in just shaping the team and making you guys ready for the Olympics?
Yeah, look, I think as a South African women's hockey team, we are an unfunded team, so we don't have a big sponsor on board. So it does become difficult, and a lot of what we do takes a lot of effort behind the scenes to try and find the funding. So, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty that comes with a unfunded program. But, you know, as a team, we're trying to not focus on that. For us, the important thing is that we do our job, and our job is to train hard and to play hard. And I think as a team, we've kind of made the decision to not accept our situation, but rather not let it influence the way that we approach, you know, our games, the way that we approach, the way in which we train. We're trying to train despite all of the troubles that we had, because at the end of the day, you know, we can sit and complain about it over and over again, but we trying to just control what we can control, and that is our performance.
In terms of those preparations, again, I mean, what will be different this year, looking at the time that you have, and it's never really much to prepare for the Olympics? Any camps that have been lined up to try and just sharpen up the team ahead of the Paris Olympics?
Yes, so there's big plans. A lot of the plans are funding dependent, of course, but there's big plans. I mean, as I mentioned, we're busy with the test series against France, and then from here, the end of February, we'll go into a training camp ahead of the All Africa Games, which is taking place in Ghana in March, and then from there, I know there's plans to either go to Korea or to New Zealand to get some test matches there. And then just before the Olympics, you know, maybe a month before, we're looking at heading over to Europe, and France will host us there. We're hosting them now. They'll host us there, and we'll get some games against them, and then base ourselves in Belgium, where a lot of international hockey teams will be based before the Olympics. So yeah, there's big plans on board, and I think that's really exciting for us because we want to be as prepared as possible, and part of that preparation is getting in international games. And I think, you know, if funding allows and we get the program that has been planned, I think it will be absolutely fantastic for the team.
Well, Erin, you're one of the senior members of the team. How's the team shaping up, particularly looking at some of the younger players that are coming through?
Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting. We've got a great balance of older and younger players. You know, myself and Quanita Bobs. We've got Celia Evans. We've got Dirkie Chamberlain, who's just recently joined the team. So we've got some stalwarts who have more than 100 games under their belts. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we've got some schoolgirls. So it's really, really exciting to see the talent that is coming through in South African hockey. And it's exciting to see how those 17, 18-year-olds get out there on the field and compete against other internationals. So we've got a good balance of young and old, and I think it's an exciting team, and you know, having those fresh legs and that fresh perspective of the youngsters really brings energy to the team. So we're excited about the balance and the dynamics in the team at the moment.
We're also joined by Quanita Bobs, who's also the co-captain. Quanita, thank you very much for joining us in the conversation. We're just talking with Erin just about the preparations. But I mean, from your perspective, and also, I mean, like Erin, you have been there with the team. What are you looking forward to the most as you look into the preparations for Paris 24?
I'm looking forward to more stick and ball time together. At the moment, we're really trying to focus on our processes and improving as individuals and as a team. So yes, I'm definitely looking forward to all our camps. Hopefully it can happen if we get a big sponsor on board. And, you know, as Erin said, it's a privilege that we have secured our tickets to Paris. So at the moment, all we're focusing on is training hard. And, you know, it's always fun, you know, coming together as a group and trying to improve. When we get to Paris, we really want to compete, and that's all we want to do.
How much do you think the experience that you guys have, particularly as Erin was explaining, some of the players that have been there in Tokyo Olympics and beyond, will enhance the team and help in, I guess, finishing better than the last time around?
100%. I think we need a good balance between more experienced players and younger players. There's a few of us that played in the Tokyo Olympic Games. And I think it's important to have some of those players in the team because, you know, we've learned our lessons from Tokyo and we're looking to improve on that performance from the Tokyo Olympic Games. So, yes, I do think it's important. You know, the reason why we're trying to put a program in place is so that more young players can get more international caps. And that's what we're looking to do. And, yeah.
Erin, let me come back to you and talk about the experience of having played in the Olympic Games before. Does it make it better, or is it always still the same? Because, I mean, Olympic Games is always the pinnacle of sport in any event.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Olympic Games in Tokyo was a different Olympic Games. With COVID and you know, no spectators and lots of strict conditions. So it was a different Olympic Games, and it was my first Olympic Games. So for me and for the other players who did play in Tokyo, it's going to be really, really exciting to hopefully experience a full-on Olympic Games where there aren't those restrictions and to experience, you know, the thrill of the fans and you know, the buzz around it all. So for the players who were at Tokyo, it's obviously unbelievably exciting to be able to experience the atmosphere. But not only that, I think a lot of the players at Tokyo, we were disappointed in how we competed with other teams. And so for us, there is that extra motivation to make sure that when we get to Paris, you know, we know what it takes now. And so we want to go to Paris, and as Quanita correctly said, we really want to compete with the other teams there. We want to show the world that we deserve to be there. And, you know, as I said, the fact that we experienced the disappointments in Tokyo does just add that extra motivation for the group that was there.
Quanita, what would you say then with that experience that you guys have gained in Tokyo will be different, if anything? Or is it just a question of knowing what to expect and the experience that you've gained in Tokyo that you take into Paris?
I think it's a combination of things. We know what to expect now, a few of us. And the second thing is that, you know, it's the Olympic Games. Every game you have to pitch up. And I think in Tokyo, we didn't do that. We started the first game very slow. We were supposed to get a result there and we didn't. So from our side, it's just about, you know, playing every game like it's your last. There's no excuses. We have to show up when we get there and compete. And I think we're trying to establish that culture already now, so when we get to the Olympic Games, we are all on the same page as a team.
And what is the mood like in camp? You guys, as you say, have had a few games. You are getting together. It's the beginning of the year. There's the All Africa Games coming up. But what is the mood like, Quanita, in camp as the girls come together and you know that this is going to be a big year?
Yeah, the girls were training really hard during the festive season. So we were very excited to get together and first of all start our Olympic preparation for the year. It's amazing that we actually get to play 6 test matches against France this week. We've already started off on a good foot with 2 wins under our belt. So at the moment, the vibe is amazing. The girls are just honestly looking forward to preparing for France, and all we're focusing now is on our processes and trying to improve, physically and as well as technically and tactically.
Erin, looking at the matches that you're playing against France and the importance of such a camp, I mean, how has it been, the camp itself and the experience that you're getting from this camp and the quality of opposition? I guess it's very important.
Yeah, definitely. Look, the key ingredient that we have maybe lacked in the past is, and definitely before the Tokyo Olympics, is that international competition. So, any opportunity we get to play against an international team is so valuable because there's so much to learn out of that. And there's nothing that can really replace that within our domestic setup. So international competition is a key ingredient to be successful. And, the French team, as the hosts, they will be at the Olympic Games. So to play against a team that has also secured their ticket to the Olympic Games is obviously a great thing. They're busy with their process. They want to play hard. They want to fight. So, it's good to play a team that is also competitive and is also building up to the Olympics. So definitely that international competition is a key ingredient, and we are not taking it for granted. And we feel super privileged to be able to get these test matches, and hopefully, as I mentioned, the big plans that we had this year, hopefully that the momentum will continue up until the Olympics.
Erin, Quanita, let me throw the last one at you. Erin was speaking about, the challenges, and we know that one of the biggest challenges that hockey has in South Africa is the issue of finances. What do you think briefly needs to be done to improve that, in that you get enough and adequate training, not just here at home, but internationally, to be adequately prepared for the Olympics?
Like Erin said, the more time we can spend together as a team and the more international matches we can play will definitely help in our process to being competitive in Paris. And with funding on board, we can do our program, and we've set this wonderful program with so many international games, and it's just about hopefully trying to get that done this year. And it's just about stick and ball time, playing together, training hard, and I think with funding that will help us a lot.
Right. Fantastic. Quanita and Erin, thank you very much to the both of you.